Wow. Have we got an amazing show for you today? Everything is changing in the business world so quickly. Have you seen some of the new platforms that have come out? Have you seen what Grok is doing? And they completely changed the game within 2 years with AI. And they took it to such a high level that everybody else said you couldn't do. This platform for AI now is beyond the level of a PhD. And imagine what's going to happen going forward. Right now, most of these platforms cost a bit of money, but because the adoption is going so quickly, a lot of these costs of these platforms are going to go down, 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 down. Why is that important to you? Because everything is going to be resting on platforms, right? The way business is done today is going to shift. And I'm going to show you exactly what we mean by that, because your business will not be around in the next 5 years if you don't make some very important strategic changes. So let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. Today, we want to show you how do you make sure that you're going to be around in 2030, 2035, or 45, or whatever. Seems kind of a long way away, doesn't it? Maybe you don't want to be. Maybe you want to sell your business. But if you don't level up the business and get it to a level where it's highly profitable, all you're going to end up doing is shutting it down. We don't want that to happen for you. I'm Connie Scavella. I am your host today for Iconic TV Live. We come here every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific. Why? Because we want to give you the strategies and the principles and the processes that you need to take your business from 6 figures to 7 figures in profit. How quickly? Do you want to do it in a year, 2 years, 3 years? Our rule is if you haven't made $1 million in 3 years, you're doing something wrong. And I'm going to invite you to stick around for this very compressed, power-packed show. It's 30 minutes, maybe even a little bit less today, because I'm going to talk a little bit faster and get you everything that you need so you can take action on this today. Because you don't want to just crawl along in your business. You want to scale this thing like a rocket ship, right? You want your moonshot. That's why you got into business, to make a big difference. And a lot of times people say, gosh, I'm not as far as I thought I would be. Is that where you are? Well, we want to change all that. Today, we're going to talk about something very different. And before I do, I want to let you know that I do have a quiz for you if you want to take it. And do you want to find out if your business is ready to scale? Maybe that's the first place you need to be. Now, for example, if you just started your business, if you're not even at $100,000 a year yet, you're not there yet. But if you are, this is a short quiz that we put together for you so you can see how close you are to being ready to scale. Are you scale proof? All right. So if you want to take this quiz, where is it? It's over here. If you want to take this quiz, then just type in scale proof down below and I will get you the link so you can take that. And I have some other things for you as well if you stick with us for the whole show. And some brand new things that I think you're going to love. So this is what we're talking about today, is why you need to really look out for your business. You've got to start taking much better care of your business. People take really good care of their clothes, their watches, right? They take great care of their cars and their homes. But a lot of people don't take good care of their business. And why is that? Well, the answer is actually maybe a little bit more surprising than you think, okay? So, the thing is, we all start with a great vision. Oh, I'm going to do this wonderful thing. I have a breakthrough idea, and I have something that people will love. My offer is incredible. But then they get into this hustle culture, right? And people think that their business is going to survive and thrive, but the majority of businesses rarely last 5 years. It's really quite shocking when you think of how much we put into our business, and it doesn't really last that long. So I want to go dive deep into these topics today, and I want to let you know that if you need help, if you are trying to figure out, why am I not growing fast enough? Why does it feel like I have plateaued? and my business isn't going anywhere, then I would love for you to connect with us, right? You can book a call with us and we can show you what you need to do. And maybe you feel like I'm too busy for any of that. I just need to keep going. Okay. There's things that you're going to need to do that I'm going to show you. But guess what? If you want them done for you, we can do all the heavy lifting so that you can focus on putting the money back in the bank. And all you have to do is hop on a quick 10-minute call with us. We'll show you exactly how that is done. And then ask you a couple questions, maybe do the quiz with you, figure out what does it take. We've only got another half of this year left for you to hit your goals. And if you're not close, this is the time for you to catch up, right? Remember, you can make your year in a quarter, you can make your year in a month, you can make your year in a week. The question is, do you have the strategies, the step-by-step process to do it? Or do you feel like, I don't really know what to do next? You'll do it, but you actually don't know what to do next. That's where we want to step in and help you. Just book a 10-minute call. It's so easy. It doesn't hurt. We call it a profit and scale call. And you just go to callconnie.com and we will take care of everything for you. It's that easy. So let's take a look at this sobering reality that is going on here. And this is the facts about business. If we look closely at what's happening in business, it is kind of scary, isn't it? Right? Let me make that so that you can see this here. And if we look at this, right, 50% of businesses won't survive. And most of them will fail within the next 5 years. 80% are trying to scale, but they're doing it and trying to grow too fast. And so that's going to be a challenge for them. And then 65% are actually burning out. And maybe that's where you are. Are you in the place where you're burning out? Because you think it's going to last, but the numbers do tell a different story. And here's the facts. The truth is, it's really not the economy. It's not the algorithms. It's not the competition. It's not really AI. Okay. So there is a hidden element that is costing you your business. And so we're going to dive deep into this today so you can really understand what we're talking about. And if you know that you need a little bit of help, okay, stay tuned because I want you to ask for all of these slides at the end. You can get all of them and I will give them to you so you know kind of where to go. So what is the silent threat to your success? Let's take a look at it because what we're talking about is the invisible dangers that really destroy a business, right? Branding is so important. This is the year of the brand, but that's not it. Lack of effort. I know you're trying. That's not it. It's structural instability. Okay. This silent threat is what operates beneath the surface. Okay. It's weakening your business foundation. And then guess what? At some point, everything is going to collapse under this pressure. And so how do we get the stability in your business so that you are not one of those businesses that ends up crumbling way too early? So what we want to do is let's look at these 3 pillars that are under attack, okay? Number 1 is the delivery systems. And this is how are you getting this information out there, your service out there, your processes? What is it? How is your fulfillment working for you? And the second thing is the messaging alignment, okay? This is messaging in a couple different places that I want you to really think about. This is internal messaging as well as external messaging. This is the messaging you're putting out in the marketplace. Are you putting it in the right places? Are you only talking about yourself? Are you talking about the problem that your audience is facing? Are you talking about the outcome that you can provide? Or are you just talking about your offer and what's in it and the details? Okay. So the external messaging really matters. You have to say the right thing in the right place to the right audience. It's a lot like Jim Collins, right? Get the right people on the right bus and the right seats. Your messaging is the same thing. And then your internal messaging. Who are you as a leader? We've been doing series on leadership, and this is actually, if you think about it, this is a lot about leadership. What's your messaging internally to your team, to your peers, to the marketplace as far as like your PR and things, not just directly to the audience, but how are you perceived? Like when you are out there and you're out on your own platform, how is your messaging? What are you saying? Are you very optimistic? Are you skeptical? Are you pessimistic? What is this messaging? Very, very important. And then let's talk about the actual linchpin of success, and that is your mindset. We don't lead with this a lot. A lot of people come to us to make more money quickly. And the underlying foundation in order to have your profits rise is this, it's your mindset. Okay. And if you aren't solving that, you're never going to solve the problems in your business. So the mindset is always under attack. The messaging, you're competing now with AI in a big way. I believe it was Gartner who said that by the end of 2025, that 90% of the content online will be AI. I was scrolling through some different people's platforms, and one person who has grown a pretty big tribe, but actually she kind of flattened out. That's why I wanted to check what's happening. I always love to look at the competition, right? See what they're doing. Are they responding fast enough? Like not competition to me, but competition to my clients, and make sure that my clients are always head and shoulders above everybody. And so what she started doing is I was on Instagram, right? A lot of people love Instagram, but she put up about 40 posts of AI pictures that were clearly not her, probably 30 years younger and probably 60 pounds lighter. And what does that say? It says inauthenticity, right? It's like, you're not talking to me. You can't even bother to show up. All right. That's a problem with this messaging that we're seeing. And a lot of people, I know it's easy and convenient. At some point, I'll probably do it. I still speak live to people, right? I come here live. I am not dialing it in. And why? Because it matters. Intimacy is one of your secret weapons if you use it right. If you don't know how to get that intimacy with your clients, then let me know. I'll give you some tips and some tricks. In fact, if you want to sit in on one of our weekly, what we call hot seats, our mastermind, where you can come in and ask a question and we'll solve it right there for you, just let me know. Reach out to me and I'd love to invite you in, mix up with some of our other clients and just kind of see what it's like to get a lot higher level consulting rather than just watching a YouTube and hoping you get it. Okay. So these are the three pillars that are really under attack. What is your game plan? How are you preventing these from harming you? Right? What are you doing to buffer your mindset, right? You want to be like Secretariat in the race. You want to have your blinders on. So all you see is your wish fulfilled, your end result. That should be all you're focused on. What are you doing about your delivery systems? How are you getting it faster? How are you getting it better? How are you improving your quality? What can you do to stand out from everybody else? And you don't have to do everything. They say about 20% improvement. And so if you can look at your competitors and say, like I did today for a client looking at her competitors on Instagram, and you want to see what are they not doing or what are they doing that is not working well. And so it was so easy. Like just show up live as you rather than an animation of yourself, right? We don't go out and pick up paper dolls and say, hey, this is me. And you don't even try to pretend it's you. All right. Fortunately, the platforms and everything is changing, so it's making you validate if it's really you or not. But that is an issue. Okay. And just keep in mind, marketing is going to get smarter and smarter and smarter, and you have to be even smarter. You have to outwit it because otherwise you're going to fall for a lot of really bad advice that's not going to serve you. All right, so let's look at a couple of these silent killers. And the first one is your system fragility. And I want to take a look at this. There's 4 points here that I want to go over with you. And when we're talking about this, when your growth becomes your enemy, maybe you're trying to grow too fast for your current size. You're not ready for the future scale. You don't have the foundations and the systems ready. Okay. And if your system and the infrastructure isn't there, you will break down. Okay. How is this going to show up? That you're going to see customer delays and you're going to see the quality drop. The productivity of your team is going to plummet. Why? Because they're under so much pressure to get everything to grow, 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 grow. Okay. And then what's going to happen as an obvious result here is then your revenue is going to start going down. When you're pushing too hard to scale or you're trying to scale too soon, if your system isn't locked in and you built a foundation on sand for your business and you were in a hurry, let's just get this out there mode because that's where the market was going, you have to go back and brace that, right? It's a crack in your foundation and it can bring down your whole house. So that's one of the silent killers, right? Where is your system fragile? Look at it. Look at all parts of that. Okay. There's something that we do for our clients, and it's an awesome tool that you can use. And this is called a postmortem. Okay. I'm sorry, a pre-mortem. So you know what a post-mortem is, right? Somebody dies and the autopsy is done and they're looking at the body. Why did this person die? Oh, there's a bullet wound and there's a bruise on the back of the head. And oh, there's a little pinhole prick right there in the neck. It could have been a needle and poison, right? They're looking for the cause of death. But it's too late at that point. That person has died. So you don't want to be doing a post-mortem on your business. You want to do a pre-mortem before the business dies. Okay. And how you do a pre-mortem is you kind of look at your business and figure out, okay, if I do this, maybe if I run this launch, if I offer this product, if I move into this building, if I partner with this person, what are all the things that could go wrong? Like if in the end it failed, what were the reasons it failed? Okay, that's a pre-mortem. Assume the part of your business you want to do. Maybe you're trying to scale. Maybe you're trying to add another $500,000 to your business. And you're figuring out, okay, this is what we're going to try. We're going to use this strategy. Maybe you're going to use a hack. Don't use hacks, okay? Use strategies, principles that work. Forget all these fads that are going on, okay? Maybe you want to implement AI and have an AI-powered business. We can help you out with that in a strong, strategic way. But maybe that's what you want to do. But then imagine that it fails and you put all this money into it. You even added apps and you did all these things and it failed. Okay. With a pre-mortem, then you go backwards and go, well, why did it fail? What were all the reasons that led up to that failure? You will be amazed. Oh, I didn't have this. I didn't have my team in place. This is how you find the fragility in your company, right? So a pre-mortem is a really powerful tool. We have some frameworks and some worksheets and things. If you want those, just type pre-mortem down below. I will go ahead and get those to you. And again, if you want to hop in on one of our mastermind calls that we do every week with our 6 and 7 figure clients. They pay us $60,000 to $175,000 a year. If you want to sit in on one of those and find out, what do I need to do? What if I was surrounded by a room where you're not the smartest person in the room and you could figure out, oh, this is how people think differently. So these are things that I want you to think about. So let's look at silent killer number 2, why your business won't make it for another 5 years. And this is messaging confusion. One of the hardest things people face as they start their business is getting that clarity so that you know exactly what you stand for. This is what I'm doing. This is my audience. This is my message. This is my goal. This is my target. This is how I'm going to put this out there. This is why I'm so much better than the competition. People are not very clear. They just fall in love with the idea. Like, this would be cool. And nobody realizes how hard it is. Okay? We can make it simple, but it's still hard. And if you're not willing to crawl on glass on your hands and knees a few times a year, then you're not ready to be an entrepreneur. But if you are, then you want to come see us, okay? We don't want you to crawl on glass. We can show you how you can just walk over that glass on a bridge. Now, let's take a look at some of these 3 silent killers. This is important for you to know about your messaging confusion. And again, attracting the wrong audience. Don't you just hate it when everybody comes up to you, but everybody's broke? You're sending out the wrong messaging. Don't try to please everybody. Try to please only the select few. And those select few are only the very best, right? And make sure that with your perfect client that we're talking about, can they recognize themselves in your business? Can they see, wow, this was like it's like custom tailored to me? That's what you want to have people feel. Otherwise, you're going to repel them. All right. And then the other problem is a conversion collapse. You're doing everything right. And it seems like they're coming along well, right? And they're like, yeah, I like it. They're nodding. You think you have this. People are starting to come in, but then it starts to collapse. Maybe they don't come in as often. They don't buy as much, or they just ghost you and they never come back, right? That the messaging then has collapsed. Do you know why it's collapsing? Again, maybe what you need to do is a pre-mortem. Maybe you need to have go into what we call our sales lab and put your sales presentation in there, like the recording or the Zoom call or the script or whatever. And we'll analyze that and give you the feedback on why is all of this collapsing for you, right? So you don't need to keep doing it and say, oh, I'll do this again and again and again. Do it again and again and again and keep getting up and doing it again and again, but do it better each time. Most people are just doing the same thing and think, oh, I'll just keep doing it and eventually I'll get better. Not if you're doing the wrong thing. Okay. So you have to understand, and this is why we always talk strategy, because it doesn't matter if you try, right? They say if you're, trying to go north, but your car navigator is going to Mexico, it doesn't matter. You're following a navigator, but it's the wrong direction. And a lot of people are doing that. So let's look at silent killer number 3. Do you do any of these? Let's find out. So are you in the firefighting trap? And this is where you become the prisoner, right? You're trapped in your own success. Every day there's all these crises and urgencies and demands on your attention and your time that you need to take care of. And when you're doing crisis management, you can't focus on strategy. You can't develop your team and be a leader. Leadership is going to take you about 35% of your time if you really want to grow a great company. And when you're putting out fires all the time, you can't be creative. Innovation just dies. There's no energy left for that. And let's be honest, your personal health is the most important thing. If you don't manage your personal health, and it falls apart, the same thing is going to happen to your business. I know this. Why? Because I was working very, very, very hard. One of the fastest rising people in a $100 billion company. It was a huge company, 3rd largest pharmaceutical company. And my health just tanked. I ended up getting cancer. I had ovarian cancer. I had a grapefruit-sized tumor in my ovaries. And at that time, I had a 99% chance of dying within 6 months. Why? I was just so focused on grinding and getting to the top and doing all this stuff. You can't do that. There's a smarter way to do it. And that was a fortunate event. Why? Because that way that I healed that became the foundation for how we grow every business. You really need that balance. We always talk about, let me show you this. We always talk about a cube, right? And this is a cube. It's perfectly balanced on all sides. And that's how you run your business. We always show you, this is the model that we use for how to run a business. There's only 4 sides, right? And we only give you 4 steps for everything. Imagine how simple it would be to run your business when you knew you only had to cross 4 steps. And it was like, got that done, got that done, got that done, got that done. Every day you feel this forward progress instead of getting more and more buried under the weight of all the things that you have to do. See, most people are tied up like this, right? They're just, they can't figure out how to break free. Everything is bottled up together. and it's a mess. This is not how you run a business. You need a simple, clear, strategic plan, right? And that way you can stay in your zone, in that zone of being a leader instead of being an operator. And that's what happens when you're being a firefighter, right? So you don't want to get into that mode. Now, is this making sense to you? Okay, if you're liking this so far, I would love it if you would subscribe here below. And wherever you're watching, come join us. We are here every Tuesday, and we want you to get these tools, resources. Every time I go live, I'm going to give you something free that you can implement that week and keep doing another thing and another thing and another thing. And we've been doing this for over 20 years. It's not our first rodeo. So I want you to feel comfortable, hopping on a call with us. And we always start with a 10-minute call. Why? Because we're trying to get you those 4 steps to 7 figures in 1 year. That's our goal. And when you book a call with us, we're going to audit your process. What's your sales or your hiring process or whatever process you want us to take a look at. We're going to identify 3 opportunities for your business that you can take advantage of right now and make an impact. And then we're going to pinpoint the number 1 flaw that is blocking your success to your growth. And when we do this, it's so simple because the whole goal is you want to be able to know exactly what is the next step. Okay. And so if you would like to book a call, just go to callconnie.com. You can call us, or you can go to Iconic Business Advisors, and we would be happy to help you out. Okay. If you like what we're doing and you want something a little bit more detailed, if you want more help and you're like, okay, 10 minutes is great. Now I have an understanding, but maybe you're farther along and you actually really need a consultation. Like, please give me more details, more steps, and show me the how, the why, and the what. Okay. Not just the what. And then you might want to look at having an actual consultation. We call it a quantum leap business call. And let me show you what that looks like so you don't feel like, oh gosh, this is going to be high pressure or whatever. Okay. It's a 45-minute call. Let me show you the cadence here of what we do when we do it. Right. So in the first 4 minutes, we want to get 2 minutes, we're going to do a summary of where are you, what's going on. Then we're going to spend 33 minutes on strategy, right? Not selling, strategy. What is the strategy that you need to do? And then we'll give you the feedback and the action plan for what do you do next, okay? So it's a very simple process, right? We don't bite much anymore. Just kidding. So if that's what you need, right? Remember, we're halfway through the year. It's time to go. Okay. Let's pick it up a little bit, pick up the pace. And AI is coming way too fast. And I don't want you standing in the middle of the intersection, right, with your pants at your ankles going, wow, what happened? You need to get ahead of the game now. All right. Yes, of course, we all need an AI powered business, but not if you're trying to AI power something that's a mess in the first place. Obviously, that makes sense. Now, let's keep going. And let's get to the next point that we want to cover. And so let's talk about, if you want to have sustainable success, what does it require? What do you need? Here's 3 things I want you to take a close look at, and look at this and tell me which one do you have, which one do you need? And if you look at the first one, what we're talking about is a strategic vision. Do you actually have a clear direction of where you're going? And if you do, does your team know what it is? And if you're like, team, what team? Hey, we need to get you a team. Okay. We have to help you build smarter and not work harder. And then we need systems so that those systems will help you scale. And of course, if you don't have a good infrastructure, right? If you're fragile, we need to build a stable foundation for you. Does this make sense to you? So you want a strategic vision, you want to have aligned systems, and then you also want to make sure that your foundation is very stable so you can't tip over, right? It doesn't matter if it's a wind or a hurricane or a flood, you're still going to survive regardless of the elements, okay? Now, here's the blueprint for lasting success. Let me show these 4 steps to you. Look at it like a timeline. Okay. So what we want to do is we're going to audit your current systems. Go take a look at that. What are you doing? Where are your costs too high? What about your overhead? Look at the people in your team. What are all these people, the systems, SOPs? What do you have? How is it? Is it any good? Okay. Now you need to align your messaging. Okay, because auditing systems is internal, aligning your messaging. Now we're starting to get a little external. We talked about messaging earlier, and that's another huge subject. We can talk about messaging forever, but you understand the concept. Again, book a 10-minute call. I'll take a look at your messaging. I'll look at your website. I'll look at your competition, and then we'll pinpoint where you need to fix this. And what do you need to do then? Is you need to have a strategic framework. People are just sort of going like, okay, I ask people, how do you plan your day? Paper or electronic? Some are like, oh, it's just up here. Okay. I highly recommend whatever you do, you still have paper, hand to God, right? Mind to God. So you want to write it down. You'll remember it better. And then build something that's a framework. Like, what's your process? What's your flywheel, if you will? Our framework is 4 steps. It's the SOAR formula, and it works magically on all kinds of industries. And what we want you to do is have a framework. If you don't have a strategic framework, then that's going to be one of the things you really want to focus on next. And then how do you scale intelligently? Not just haphazardly. Yes, we talk a lot about blitz scaling. Blitz scaling took us to millions of dollars, but you must have a strong foundation before you can do that. Now, what are the action steps? Let me give you 3 action steps that you can focus on right now, okay? And the first step is to conduct a systems audit. Please go look at your systems. Look at everything. Do a pre-mortem. What would break, right? If you were trying to scale, if you were trying to add $1 million onto your business or put $1 million extra in the bank this year by the end of the year, what would you have to do? And why wouldn't it work? Tell me why it wouldn't work. And then those are the systems that you're going to need to fix. How easy is that? Now, the second step is clarify your message. Where are you messaging? Why are you messaging that? How's it going? Is it increasing the attention and the audience that you're getting? Or you're like, oh, it's going flat, or I don't know why nobody's looking. Are you even on the right place, on the right platform, focusing on the right audience? Is your message right? You want to know the first place to start when you're looking at clarifying your message is your website. This is very important. Go ahead and put it down below. And feel free to put your link to your website. I don't care if people click on your website here. Put a link to your website, put your headline down. Tell me what that is, because I can tell you how much your phone is going to ring based on what the headline is on your website. Just by looking at that, I can tell you how full your calendar is just by that. Okay. What about your personal messaging? When you're going out and connecting with other people, so many people will say, oh, I don't do any paid advertising. I like to grow organically. Fabulous. But then you're going out and you're networking and you have nothing to say. What you're saying is just making us eye roll. We're like, come on, hurry up. Right. So where's your messaging? How is it? I mean, let's be honest. Does it suck? Okay. Remember, the first half of success is suck. So your messaging probably sucks until you get it right. Remember, our company is called the Iconic Brands. That's what we build. So if you need some branding help, it is the year of the brand. You have to get it right because of AI. You have to stand out as a person, a personal brand when everything else is going automated, right? So then I want you to look at the third step that you're going to take today, and that is implement strategic planning. Stop going by the seat of your pants and think, this is what I got to do today, or watch this video. Oh, it drives me nuts when people do this. They come on and go, well, I saw this on YouTube, and I watched this here, and I watched this there. And I'm like, well, let me see your plan. Where's your strategic plan? And they don't have one. And they're wondering why they're lost. They're just circling and circling. They're in a rowboat with one oar, and they're rowing and rowing. But that's why they crash, right? That's why they're going in circles. If you don't have a strategic plan, I know it's kind of a weird word. It's not very visual, okay? But A framework, right? What's our framework? 4 things, SOAR, right? Every step is a different place that's going to take you all the way to $1 million in a year. You need a strategic framework. If you don't have one, please borrow ours. I'll show it to you and I'll give it to you and you can put it into action. Okay. It's only 4 steps. Now, the question is that you have to ask yourself is, are you serious about this year? Are you serious about having the best year in your business? Or are you just going to just get a little bit better? Oh, we did 5% better. We did 14% better. Well, we stayed even. That's not good. That's not what business is here. Business is here to make money, right? And lots of it. Why do we want to make a lot of money? Because money gives you choice. You know what money also does is money reveals you. You know this. Money reveals a person. People like you might, we were talking about this today in our workshop, and a gentleman was saying, yeah, I partnered up with somebody. We built a $10 million business and then I lost it all because he was not integrous. Let's just go there. Okay. And he took it all. And that's where we said, money reveals a person. When you get a lot of money, the real you is going to come out. And think about that. Is the real you going to make an amazing business, or are you going to bankrupt your business? So this is why we talked. If watch this again, ask for the replay. We talked about mastering your mind. That is the most powerful thing you can do. Why? Because I don't care if I give you the best strategy. If you don't master this, you won't do it. I guarantee you. Okay. We have what we call a mind mastery process. So we put people through. It's so important. It's so powerful. I can tell what day they stop doing it by the way they behave. And if you don't know how to master your mind in all the different conditions that come up, then you need to work on that, right? Because your business is only going to grow to the extent that you do. If you're ready to make that change, please book a call with us. We would love to help you out and get you ready. So here's what I want to ask you. What do you need help with? We'll uncover the blocks to your growth. We're going to define a strategic plan in this call if you want to book it. And then we are going to outline the next steps to your freedom. And if that's something that you would like you want to say, okay, what's my plan? What's my next step? How do I go from here to there? That's what we are here for. So I hope you got some really good ideas today. If you did, I'd love to know what idea really hit home for you. What are you going to put into play? And then I want you to come back here next Tuesday at 5 p.m. And in the meantime, I want you to be iconic. Have a great day, and we will see you next week on Iconic TV. Oh, and make sure you get the scale proof quiz. Go ahead and take that now so that you can do that. Just put scale proof below. And if you would like to attend one of our workshops, I would love to have you. We do these a couple times a month. We do them in person, and we're also going to do some virtually because not everybody can be around. So we hope to have you at one of our workshops. We're going to break down all the steps, all the different nuances so that you can have an iconic multi-million-dollar business. That's what we build: high ticket, high powered, high profit businesses at scale. So we will see you next Tuesday, and have a great week until then, and be iconic.